Hi everyone, Scrappy Kathy here with a special Scraplift. It's a special video. It's my final May I Scraplift You video for the month. I haven't played every day, but every day that I could, I have. And I've saved this one for last because it's one I really love. It's Suzanne Steeden's. This is her original. And she did it as a design team layout for Mind the Scrap. She's got mixed media behind a couple photo strips. There's some paper layers and some butterflies and some stars. And I have those exact butterflies, but I'm not going with that color scheme because of the nature of my photos. And I have a butterfly bin here that is way too full. I've kind of pulled out a few that I thought might work, and I don't mind mixing and matching butterflies from different collections and of different styles and different materials. What I've got here, my color scheme is green and purple, kind of lime green and purple. This is a vellum butterfly from a Vicky Bouton collection, and it's got some purple and some green. This has a little bit more teal, and I'm assuming you can see that. I think everything inside this line is visible. This is a little tiny butterfly that came out of a border punch that I have that has butterflies, and this little butterfly fell out, and it's green. I cut a mixed media piece original piece that I had done. This is it has some lime green in it. It has some teal in there. This green and black one I thought was interesting, and this one's purple. I thought I would look in this little envelope. I saw this green one, and it's lime green, all right, but it's kind of a little more vibrant than I was looking for. I've got kind of some puffy ones. Ooh, there's kind of a green one. It's that chartreuse yellow green. Here is a black and white. And I've got some greens in here, but the greens appear to be, let me try to open that up. The greens appear to be sort of minty green rather than lime green. So I'm not going to do that, but what I'm after is maybe this black and white. This one is missing a wing, but I can possibly use that. This has some sort of lime green in it. I think that's probably enough. I'm going to put this aside and say that I've selected my butterflies. Let me put them over here. I'll just kind of show you what I have. These are my two film strips. It's just some garden photos I took one day when I came back from the pool. The light was right, so I realized that there's a lot of purple things in bloom right now. So this is the plumbago. It's not a plumbago. I've got plumbagos elsewhere in the shade, and I didn't walk around to those. This is a hydrangea, and it's a hydrangea that doesn't have the big, thick, puff ball kind of blooms. They are sort of flat, and the like stamens kind of stick up above the petals. So it's a really unusual, and it's a bluish purple. If I added a little bit of either acid or alkaline material, I could get it a little bit pinker and make it more purple. This is lavender. I think it's French lavender. This is a salvia called Black and Blue, and it's got lots of like really, really dark purple, kind of look like black. This is actually more purple than it looks in the photo. The photo came out kind of pinkish, but that's a butterfly bush. And this is I'm forgetting the name, it's a perennial that has been growing in this pot forever. And that's an urn that contains the ashes of our cat Scout, who died in 2010. And there's a sign that John got me that says Grandma's Garden. And here are some baby lemons. I had done a photo of the blooms, and these are actually the baby lemons that have formed. That's a big tomato, and these are some small tomatoes. This one is an early girl slicer size tomato. These are going to be small, and they're I think they're called, I don't know, chocolate drop or something like that. They are going to be sort of purple and red and brown striped. So I can't wait to see those. I hear that they taste really good. And right there is a purple bloom from my, I always plant basil in the same pot, basil and marigolds, because both of those repel different types of bugs. And so, and there's a purple, I took the picture so that you can see the purple support that I tied the tomatoes to, that kind of sits in the pot. I've double matted these, and I'll tell you why in a minute. In addition to scrap lifting Suze for the for May I Scrap Lift You, I'm also doing the community challenge in the Dottie About Flair Facebook page, and it's kind of inspired by the month of May. So one of the things that we were to be inspired by were maybe a phrase like April showers bring May flowers. So I've actually typed up that exact phrase, April showers bring May flowers, ... and tomatoes, lemons, peppers, etc. I didn't get any pictures of the peppers because the blooms are there, but no little peppers have actually formed. But I planted 4 different kinds of peppers this year because I've had really good luck freezing them. My pepper plants always produce way more than I can use at the time, so I give them away and then I freeze what's left at the end of the season, and I use them all year long. So I've done that. I've been inspired by the phrase, a sketch or a layout, and she suggested Paige Evans' woven layout. And as a nod to the weaving, I did this die cut from Bramble Fox that looks like a woven fence, right? Will you grant me that one? So I'm cheating there. A day, May the 4th, Star Wars days, think stars. So I've pulled out some Vicki Boutin stars from a couple collections ago, and there are any number of sizes. I'm targeting these little bitty tiny gold ones that are in there. I've got 2 little packages of those. They're little puffy stickers. Ribbon for May Day. So I've got 2 different kinds of ribbon, one in a green, and this could also kind of go for the woven part. It's a woven burlap ribbon that's in that lime green color, and then a little bit of purple ribbon, and a technique, double matting. So I didn't have any like white cardstock on my desk that was big enough to mat this, so I double matted it in a couple of ways, in that I used the green that's behind here, you can see, and then I used some white behind that, and then I used this black and white stripe, and I'm kind of using the black and white stripe paper that's the reverse side of this very fussy cuttable floral paper. I'm using that to kind of suggest like film strips. So this one is matted in the white and purple, and then I have little 1/4-inch strips of this, and I've done, to kind of go along with this, woven fencing. I've got this barbed wire, and they're both kind of reminiscent of outdoors. And speaking of outdoors, I've got this great perspective from Bramble Fox in a matte kind of, it's not the green I'm using, but I'm using all kinds of greens, especially when I go to these butterflies. So I'm going to make this work. It's kind of an army green, which I guess is appropriate on Memorial Day, right? Okay, so I'm going to put the butterflies over there, and we'll figure out which ones of those we want to use. So the very first thing I have to do, so I'm going to use this to enter the community challenge, and I'm going to put that aside, and I will bring this back up. She's got a title down here, which is probably where I'll put mine. I made my film strips different lengths so that I'd have some room, either top or bottom, for, you know, my title. But what I'm going to do first is some mixed media. Mine's going to be kind of half and half. There's going to be a green side and a purple side. I haven't decided yet whether I want to put the all of the purple flowers are in this strip, and then the green vegetables are here. So I'm added this one in purple, and I'm added this one in green. So I'm thinking the purple is what goes on the left side, and the green is what'll go on the right side. And then if they meet in the middle and turn muddy, we're going to cover them with the photos, right? So let's work on that. And I'm going to do this one a little bit differently. You've seen me do a million of these things where I put the color on a surface and then kind of, you know, dot it down there. In this case, I'm going to do it one by one. And then I'll kind of build up to the darkest color and kind of get it on here. And I'm going to dry it so that it's not, it doesn't have to be particularly dark or contrasty. So I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to spritz a little bit of water, and I'm going to kind of bend it like this and sort of go kind of like that. And I'm going to let the colors blend here, but on the page, I'm going to dry between each layer. Oh, you know what? I said I was going to do the purple on the left. Tell you what we're going to do. We're going to move all this over to the... We're going to just do it this way and move things over this side rather than this. So this is going to be the green side, which is where the short film strip's going to go. Sorry about that. The green stuff, the green inks were there. Okay, so that first one was squeezed lemonade. This is twisted citron. I'm going to kind of do this somewhat the same way. And I've got some areas that are looking kind of straight lines, which is the danger of doing it the way I did. And that's not a problem because I've got fingertips. Okay, so that didn't show up much, but this next one will. It's mowed lawn, and it kind of goes right along in there. And I'm kind of using as my color guide this piece of paper from Color Study, and I'm going to try to use that. You may not be able to tell it from here, but she's got some stenciling on top of the mixed media. It looks like maybe a floral stencil where she's done some texture paste. And so I thought I might do some gesso through this, which is just, that's a die I have that you can see where I cut the this barbed wire that I'm going to use, and I have something in my hand, so I'm not going to do that. Anyway, so here I'm going to kind of do this, and that's a little bit maybe more contrasty than I wanted. And because you know how I love shimmer, I'm going to kind of just really add a lot of this Diane Reevely shimmer spray in Fresh Lime. I'm going to put the greens away, and I'm going to use a baby white to get rid of all the greens and the yellows there. I'm going to let that shimmer spray dry just a little bit, then I will roll over it with this. And that brings out the shine, actually. You can really see a lot of those areas there. And I'm perfectly okay. And by the way, I did not use gesso on this paper. And I'm doing that because I kind of wanted the colors to soak in. I don't really want a lot of movement in them. So it's just kind of a preference there. Okay, so now we're going to go with the purples. And because that's dry, I'm hoping that I can do the purple beside here. Let me start with the lightest color, and it's going to be shaded lilac. Okay, put that over there. Oops, I didn't notice where my that ended. Okay, let's do some of that, and I'm getting those straight lines, which is fine. Like I said, there's you can kind of get a nice finger painting effect by, kind of blotting those out. I'm not gonna get rid of that. I'm gonna go with Wilted Violet now because it's kind of the most kind of pretty purple color that's there, and I also think it's going to be really bright. And I may want one of the pinker purples like Seedless Preserves to be more predominant. I'm gonna like that, and I'm bringing it all the way to the bottom of the page. Now I kind of like how that went on. I don't mind the kind of vertical lines there, so I'm good with that. Okay, that kind of dried that up. Let me go with Seedless Preserves. I think I'm going to skip Dusty Concord for now. And let's go with this, which is a redder purple. And it's closer to, let's say, the paper that I used for matting that photo. I don't have to match it. I'm not a matchy-matchy kind of scrapper. I want to make sure I get some of this let me get some of this and kind of wipe that on with the okay. So I've got that. Now let's do some of the Diane Reevely Shimmer Spray in Crushed Grape. And I'll let some of that come out around there. I absolutely love this. I like this too, but oh man, purple makes my heart sing. And okay, so I think that's what I want there. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of see where my photos may go. I think they're going to kind of go like that. So I know that I want some of the stenciling to be out over in here and kind of down here and up here on the green. So right in here on the purple. And I'm not gonna get real fancy with this. What did I do here? I'm gonna take, I have, this is, you've seen me use this on nearly all my videos that involve black paper. It's Dylusions White Linen ink spray. And it was very opaque, and then I ran out of it. So what I did was I mixed some cheap white acrylic paint, half and half, with white gesso, and and enough water to get it down to a reasonable consistency. And mostly I use it for shaking onto layouts. But here I'm going to actually use it going through a stencil applied with my fingers. And I'm going to take the stencil and kind of do it like this. Just kind of unevenly applied, just so there's a little hint of a shape kind of sticking out there. And it's not neat. The applying with my fingers kind of blurred the lines, and I knew that was going to happen, and that's fine. I'm going to do this one this way, and it possibly would be better with texture paste, but I'm not going for texture as much as I am just for a slight hint of some greenery and some blurring of the mixed media ink background. And I could have sprayed this through here, and it might have, we might have had sharper edges, but I kind of decided ahead of time that I didn't care about that. So it doesn't show, I'm sure you can't see much at all, but there's a little hint of it. And you and I will know I did it, even if the rest of the world can't see it. That wasn't an important ad, but I'm okay with it. Okay. I know that I want these guys to go on here kind of at angles like that. But I want them standing up because I want to tuck things under them. And I think I will do just 2 rows of this tape rather than foam and tape runner. So let's see how that works out. And then I'm going to try something I really want a long piece for this. I have some washi tape that looks like it's film strip. And so I thought I might run the washi tape just and then position this underneath it. So I kind of need to know, let's see, where's my washi tape? I kind of need to know for sure where I want to put these. So kind of right down there. I think I've got that, and I'm just going to tear it, and it's not going to be the entire length, but I need to put the washi tape down first. Because I'm not good at placing it. Now you see it's kind of translucent, so that so I can put my first photo strip down that way. Okay, let's go ahead and commit to that because I'm overlapping the other film strip on this one, so I may have to do some messing with the layers. Okay, let's put that down there. Okay, so I've got all kinds of things that are suggesting film strips here. So I kind of wanted this to go that way. So I may need, this is going to prop up on here. I'm going to need an extra strip of foam tape here. Oh, let me do the, let me make sure I see where I want that to go. I've got it upside down. That would be good to not have it upside down. There. I want some of this mixed media to show, so maybe like that. So kind of right there at not too much of an angle. And hopefully that works. What's happening here is I'm seeing this, and I didn't want to see that. So I could push this over and have a little bit more of that showing, and that's okay. Ah, you know what? I put the double strip on the wrong side. So, oh, that's not good. Because I had it upside down. Okay, what am I gonna do? I tell you what, that means I have to put a triple strip here. And that's okay, because it'll give it a lot of space to tuck in. There are no mistakes in scrapping, just opportunities for figuring stuff out. Okay, so let's see. I don't want to cover up Grandma's garden there. I think the adhesive is beginning to stick, so I'm going to go with it. Okay. So that does have extra dimension, and that's not going to hurt when I start trying to tuck flares into place. Okay, so I'm going to do all the purple embellishments over on this side and all of the green ones on this side to kind of keep with the color scheme. I've got this. Which I think tucked in there is good, and then I can do the green barbed wire kind of down here and have it ending in a piece of flare, for example. But I've also got this guy, which I need to cut, and now I need to staple. I knew that was going to be tough, but it was the size piece that was already, you know, kind of in my drawer. Okay, that's good there. I think I'm gonna leave it there without gluing it at the moment, because I think when I put a flare on top, that may get done. So I've got this ribbon piece, which I thought could tuck in there, and it's got both right side up and upside down hearts. I've got this, and you have to remember I also have my title, and I thought the title maybe could go there, but you know, it could go here. That could be okay, and then I could maybe do this strip somewhere across maybe I do a piece of flare there, or a piece of flare here, and this kind of coming out there, opposite corners of the title. Okay, now I have this tiny bit of the film strip cut file, and I didn't know I had it. I was walking barefoot this morning, putting the tablecloth on the table for brunch, and I stepped on it, and it stuck to the bottom of my foot. So it's maybe not the cleanest embellishment I've ever had. It's actually not dirty. I think I'm going to use it more down here. Let me do it this way, because there's more space there, and this is a smaller embellishment than that is, so I'm gonna commit to this. Do I want it up there, or do I want it down here? It kind of obscures that if I do that. So let me put it here. It's okay if it obscures the the striped cardstock, but I kind of want to keep that nice. And I could do something. I've got this black and white that's a frog, and there are frogs out there, and I kind of want to place these things as I go because it's going to help the placement of all the other embellishments if I get these right. So I'm going to do that right there, and then that gives me maybe that little green butterfly could go there, or one of the other butterflies. Okay, so now we have this, which is not glued on. I can do that later. Let me find a flare for there. I've got this wonky heartwind. This is a different color purple from that ribbon, so it might work right there, and I'll have it overlap this photo but underlap this one, and that works out okay. Okay, let's see. I think I may want to ink the edges of this, and I'm probably going to go with black. It just doesn't show up layering the white across that green. And it might be a little too matchy-matchy if I tried to do green or purple. Okay, there. And I'm going to put some foam behind it, but it's not quite wide enough for a full strip of it. Let me get an extra piece of foam on here so that it pops up enough to layer over the end of that. So let me put this here. That's a perfect color of purple for everything else we have going on. Okay, there. So that's stuck down. This is not stuck down. This actually might be a nice place for that. And so I'm going to do that. But first I'm going to put a little bit of glue on the die cut just in a couple places to secure it under there. Okay, and then this has to get a little bit of glue, just little tiny bits of ribbon, I think, can really set off a layout, and I love that look, and I don't use it nearly often enough. I used to. When I first started scrapping, I used ribbon a lot. So there, and it's not directly across from this one. I've got a few other pieces of flare. I wanted a piece down here, but I think I may put a butterfly there. I've got a green duck, which I had thought would be cute, and if I move it over enough, I could do that. Let's do that. Now then, there are 3 on this side. Let's see what we have when we put the title down. I could overlap that purple, and let's kind of see where that leaves us. I know this is taking a while because I really didn't really want to plan this out too much. I kind of like going through and sharing some of my here lately, when I take photos of my layouts, I realize that how crooked I put things on. And so I've resolved to try and check that out. Right here is where some of that white gesso and paint went. You really can't see it. I've covered it up here and pretty much covered it up there. So let's see. I know I want to use these vellum butterflies. So let's see about putting one right there. And the vellum butterflies, I'm going to put a little bit of glue on the body and then put them down on the page, because that tends to kind of curl their wings. And I think it's a cute look. And this wing is kind of supported by the flare there, so it'll stay up. When I put it into an album, it'll kind of mash down like that, and that's kind of how it's going to look, and I'm just going to have to live with that. Did I get that straight? See, because I have everything at wonky angles, it's hard to tell what's straight, and that should tell me that it really doesn't matter. So since I have one of those there, I want to do another one kind of up here and just put it down on top of that fence, that woven fence. I have done paper weaving, and I didn't like it when I did it, and I am not a huge fan of it when other people do it. It's not a look that particularly excites me. Now, I love stitching. I don't do stitching, but I love stitching. I just can't do it. I can. I have done hand stitching, but it usually involves there's usually blood involved, and I'd probably just as soon not do that. I'm trying to get this under that, but with the okay there. And then I have another one of these butterflies from that same collection, and I can put it here. And this one I'm going to actually pop up. It's pattern paper from a few Vicky Boutin collections ago. I'll do that. And let's see, what else do I have? I have this one, which is a clear sticker, which could maybe go right there. And then because this one is flat, the dimensional quality of this one shows up even more. So I may do something similar with this kind of chartreusey one. And I will overlap the film strip with it. Okay. Now, I have this one purple one, And I thought I might put it actually on top of a photo in an area that it doesn't matter what it covers up, because there's lots of them. Like there's a lot of that lavender and there's a lot of that hydrangea. So having it up there, I think I can support the wing with this flare, and I can cover up where that green ends and the white begins. This I'm not going to cover up because I think that looks cool. This kind of just looks, I don't know, unfinished. Okay, there. Now, I still have this one. I never was going to use that one, so that goes away. I have this one. It seems like I need something right in here, and this kind of teal color up against the purple really looks green. So I'm not going to cover up the purple. I'm going to get it kind of out here in the field, and I'm going to prop it up. And I'm going to do the same with the black and white, and I don't know where in relation to that one I'm going to do it. It seems like I could use something up in there. So that may be where the black and white one goes. I'm going to do this like it's flying in towards this, towards the photo cluster. I'll do this maybe right here. And I've got this little tiny green one, and where do I need to put it? Maybe kind of right here by the frog. Let's draw our eye to the frog. That's actually got some streaks, some paint brush streaks on there. Okay, so now we're going to go with the stars. I'm going to use maybe some. I've got a lot of black and white going on there, so I thought maybe I'd put some stars at the ends of things. Maybe right here where that ends. And here's a black one. We could do that at the end of that. That's not a nice angle for the star. We have to put the stars at good angles. And then let's just sprinkle some of the gold ones around, like tiny embellishments. Maybe there. I'm just going to clean off this sticker pack. Whoops. And I should be taking these off. I could place them better if I had them coming off with them. Let's put one on this flare. Let's do one out here. This is just looking like it's not straight, and it's on there. So I'll have to take the photo so that it looks. I think I'll put this out in the field, and I'll put this one on here. Actually, I don't like that either, but let me find a prettier one. That looks okay. Okay, I may have used all the stars I need to use. Now my next question is, do I need these flares. I'm thinking not. I think the stars kind of finished it off. What I will do is add some bling, and I have a bling tool. If I can put my hands on it, it may not be around here. So I won't make you sit through my looking for this, but I will off camera put some of these purple jewels around in there. And I will not be using these flares, and that's perfectly okay because I have plenty of places to use purple flares. So I'm happy with it. And I think I've met the requirements for the community challenge at Dottie About Flare. The only thing that didn't work out as I had hoped was that this stuff is fine when you do a few splatters with it, but it's not opaque enough, and I shouldn't have done what I just did because I got some white spots over my journaling. So let me see if I can clean that off with a little clean piece of paper towel. Yeah, it just looks like it's a little bit less black. So anyway, well, what I really wanted to do was I wanted to get some spots. I think some spots would look cute on that little butterfly. Whoops, not a big streaky splat. I should have just done this. Well, I'm sorry. That wasn't cool. Anyway, I'm going to stop now while I'm ahead. And thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. I kind of like how it looks. And if I take the photo a certain way, the great outdoors won't look crooked. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next May for May I Scraplift You. And I guess the next time I have a scheduled video will be on Thursday for Challenge Accepted. And I may sneak in one or two before then, but maybe not. Bye.